Hello. For my last Halloween themed game that I'm going to do this Halloween season is I'm going to again talk about another game that I tried to design. This was back in 2013, so I think at that time there were no other zombies in the Middle Ages game. I know Zombicide Black Plague came out in 2015, but I designed this game in 2013, and believe me, nobody would copy it because it's terrible. But I thought I'd go ahead and talk about it, show you how to set up and play it. My son and I played this once after I, designed it and had it made at Game Crafter, and we played it one time and said it was terrible, and then it sat in my closet until now when I got it out to do this. And in fact, when I read through the rules, I was like, well, this doesn't sound too bad. But then when I tried to play it, I was like, oh, this is left out. I don't even understand how this works. So yeah, quite terrible. But thought I'd talk about it anyway. I will mention, as I've mentioned in some of these other games that I've had done at Game Crafter, that after 8 years, the ink seems to have really darkened quite a bit on some of the artwork here. You can't even really see it. But anyway, this is supposed to be a water tile over here and ground here, and this was supposed to be the witch's cave. So the first thing you do is take those out of your stack of tiles and just set them aside for right now. Then you shuffle your stack of tiles and draw 11 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Any unused tiles just go back. Take your 11 tiles and put one in the middle. Take your other tiles and put 6 around it. And you take your last 4 tiles, put 2 on each side, like this. And finally, you'll take your water tile and put it on the top, and your witch's cave tile and put it on the bottom. And that will form your map for the game. You'll then take your discover tokens, which are these, and you'll draw one and put one on each of the 11 tiles you drew. You don't put one on the water start tile or the witch's cave. Alright, so there's one on each of the 11 tiles, and then your remaining discover tokens just stay in a draw pile. You take these magic attack cards from the weapons deck and give them to the witch player. For some reason I made multiples of these, the energy ball and the fireball, but as far as I could tell when rereading for the rules for this game, there was no reason for that. I also made tokens for these magic attacks, but again, rereading the rules now 8 years later, I can't find any reason for those. You shuffle the remaining cards in the weapons deck and just put them in reach of the players. You shuffle the quest deck and just place it within reach of the players. You shuffle, well, you don't shuffle, you set the treasure tokens and treasure chest tokens somewhere within reach. This is a pile of 500 point treasures, a few 5,000 point treasures, and a few 1,000 point treasures. There's also a witch's acolyte token, which you can't really much see it, but you set that aside somewhere near the treasure tokens. You set aside the Duke character sheet, the Princess character sheet, the Duke figure, the Princess token, and the Duke alive or dead token. Just set those aside. Select one player to be the witch player. Give them the witch character sheet. They'll take the witch figure and put it on the witch's cave tile to start. You also give the witch player the zombie figures. Uh, these are a different type of zombie figure that can come into play. This is the zombies that came with, I think Game Crafters probably improved their components in the last 8 years. Just like these tokens are like paper thin, but I know they have thicker tokens you can get now. But back when I made this game 8 years ago, the components you could get were not of the best quality, but I think they're better now. Anyway, the witch player gets those zombies. They also get the zombie attack die and the witch attack die. The remaining players will draw one of the 3 remaining character sheets. One person will be the archer, one person will be the warrior, and one person will be the adventurer. It has a picture of their character, their little mini. So they'll take their corresponding mini, like there's the warrior, and they'll put that up here at the water tile. Here's the archer and the adventurer. Each hero player will take 3 of these orange damage markers and put them in their play area, like so. The witch player will get 1 orange damage marker and 1 yellow magic cast this turn marker. Each hero will take one of these red weapon proficiency tokens and just set it near their weapon proficiency track, like so. Take the hero attack dice and place them within reach of the hero players. And you can hardly even see what's on these images on these dice anymore, but that's a head, that's a leg, it's an arm, that's another leg, I guess that's another arm, and that's a torso. And they're all supposed to have the same, but it looks like on 2 of these black dice that either I didn't get the torso stickers or they've fallen off at some point. But anyway, you can barely read what the images on those dice. Some other components you'll just set aside for now is the D6, the Explore die, and some building tiles, and you just set those aside. Finally, the witch will take the starting number of zombies, which is 2 times the number of hero players. So if you're playing with all 3 hero players, the witch will get 6 zombie figures. So 2, 4, 6. She then places up to 1 zombie on any tile that she wants. And you have to choose a side of the tile that you put the zombie on, because the tiles actually count as 2 spaces when you're moving. So if you're moving from this side of the tile, going to that side is a space, or from this side going to that side is a space. So, or if you're here, moving to this side is a space. If you're here, moving to this side is your space. If you're here, moving to this tile is a space. So each tile counts as 2 spaces depending on how you're moving. So you have to choose definitely what edge of the tile that you're putting your zombies on. So anyway, the witch player will put their 6 zombies. They have to each be put on a separate tile. Oops. Alright, so I've got my 6 zombies set out for the witch player. And the game is played in a series of turns. First, the hero players each get to take up to 2 actions on their turn. The archer is always first, the warrior is always second, the adventurer is always third. And once the heroes are done, then the witch gets to take her actions, which she can take 3 actions, and they can either be actions where she can either move her own figure and move and attack with zombies, or she can cast spells and summon zombies, but she can't do a mixture of those things. So she has the choice of either to move an attack with zombies and move her figure, or make magic attacks with her figure and summon zombies to where her figure is at. So those are then, she can take 3 of those type of actions per turn. The hero's possible actions are, remember they get 2 actions per turn. They can move for an action, they can attack for an action, they can pick up a discover token on their tile for an action. They could trade an item or a token that with another hero in their space for an action. And we already kind of talked about how movement works. So for one action you can move one space, so you can go, he could move into here, or for if you wanted to use both his actions to move, he could go 1, 2. Remember I said the tiles are 2 spaces. You imagine like there's an imaginary line going this way or this way depending on which way you're moving. You could move here for one action, and then because you're on this side of the tile you could actually move here for another action. So that's kind of how movement works. And the movement works the same for the zombies and the witch and the heroes. Now I mentioned when the witch is taking her actions, she'll use her little dice or her little token here to show that she's taken, her first action, her second action, her third action. I don't know why I made a track like that for the witch and not for the adventurers, but anyway, I did. But let me talk about how the zombies can, if the witch decides to move and attack with zombies, the zombies can move a space but then not attack, or they can make an attack in the same space they're at. But that's it. They get one action, so they can move or attack. That's it. They can't move twice or move and attack. Now the witch, she could move herself 3 times, so she could go 1, 2, 3 if she wanted, or 1, 2, 3. But then she would be out of actions. Or as I said, she can use her actions to cast her magic attacks, in which, if she cast 1, then 2, and then maybe summoned a zombie. So she can summon or cast her magic attacks. She can never cast one of her magic attacks more than twice. So she can either do 2 fireballs and a magic projectile, or 2 energy balls and a fireball, but she couldn't do the same attack more than twice. So I don't know if that's maybe why I made 2 cards and I made 3 tokens. So I have no idea why I did that. But I don't even really see any use of the tokens at all, and the cards just kind of tell you how the attack works. Let's talk about the heroes attacking. Each hero has their starting weapon, so the archer has a bow with a range of 1 to 2, so an archer can't attack a zombie in the same space that he's in. So he could attack this one at a range 1, or this one at a range 1. That's all 1, 2. He could attack this one or this one. He could attack 1, 2. He could attack this one. So he has a range of 1 or 2. And anytime a hero's making an attack, they start out where they only roll 1 attack die. So they would roll 1 of these attack die, and they only kill the zombie if they get the head result, because the zombies can only be killed if their brain is destroyed. So they only have a 1 in 6 chance of hitting the zombie. But if they do kill a zombie, they go up 1 on the proficiency track. So as you can see, once they kill their 4th zombie, they'll start rolling 2 attack die. Once they kill their 7th zombie, they'll be rolling all 3 attack dice. So they'll have a better chance of getting a hit. When the zombies attack the heroes, they'll roll this zombie attack die, and they can get a miss or a scratch or a miss, or a miss, or a scratch, or a bite. If a hero gets scratched, the first time they're scratched, they put this marker on the first time marker. The second time a hero gets scratched, they move the marker to the second time spot, and then at that point they're kind of doomed to become a zombie. On their next turn, they have to move the marker there. On their next turn, they have to move their marker there, and on their next turn, they become a zombie, and the witch player will replace their figure with one of these hero turn to zombie figures. And then at that point, the hero player is still in the game, but he's playing as a zombie and moves and attacks as a zombie. He still controls himself, the witch doesn't, but he's then attacking the hero players and on the side with the witch. If a hero player gets bitten, well, then he puts his marker here on the bitten, and on his next turn he's doomed. He moves the marker there. On his next turn he moves the marker there, and on the next time he has to take a turn, he replaces himself with a hero turned zombie, and he becomes a zombie, just like with the scratch. If the hero is actually attacking the witch figure and not a zombie, he still rolls this same attack die, but he scores a hit on the witch if he gets head or torso. Whereas when you're attacking a zombie, you only kill the zombie if you get a hit in the head. But each time the witch is hit, she moves. The first time she'll put her damage marker here, second time here, and the third time she's hit, she's killed, and the heroes would win the game. The witch wins the game if she kills or kills off all the warriors, or turns some of them to zombies and kills the others. So as long as there's no remaining hero characters that aren't a zombie, then the witch player wins. One other way the hero players can win is if they can gather $10,000 worth of treasure and at least one of them makes it back to this water space, then they can bribe the ship's captain to leave without the Duke, and they can win in that case. So as long as one player gets back here with 10,000 treasure, then the heroes can win. There is quest cards which may alter or change or add a win condition. So let's talk about how you get a quest card. Well, some of these tokens, when you flip them over, if they have one of these icons that's on the back of one of these quest cards, then you get to draw a quest card, and it may, it's usually something good for the heroes, but it could be something bad. Also, when you pick up one of these tokens, if it has a certain weapons picture on it, you can look through the weapons deck and find that weapon and add it to yourself. You can only have your starting weapon and one other weapon, so if you were to draw a third weapon, then you would have to discard one into a tile, and somebody else could move in there and pick it up. And finally, if the witch uses her magic attacks, each of these cards kind of tell what the magic attack is. Let's see, this one says, magic projectile hath a range of 0 to 1 spaces. Magic projectile maketh 2 attack rolls. Shields may blocketh these attack rolls. I tried to put like some medieval language on this, I guess. But anyway, when a witch is going to attack with one of her magic attacks, she rolls this magic attack die. So if she says she's using fireball, she'll roll that, and if she rolls fireball, then she successfully makes that attack and does a damage to whichever hero she was attacking. So they would take this orange marker and put it on their character figure on their sheet. If they would take a second magic attack, then that would kill them. So that's a little different than how they get killed by the zombies. And so if there's energy ball, there's 2 of those icons possible. If the witch is attacking with fireball, she has 2 chances of getting that, and if she's attacking with magic projectile, she has 2 chances of getting that. And one other thing we didn't talk about is some of these tiles you'll see have a building on them. So a hero, when they're moving, if this hero was here, he could use one of his movement actions to move into that building, which I believe is a church. So if he says he's moving into this building, then you find the corresponding building tiles that have the matching picture, so that picture matches the picture that he's moving into. So you'll find most of them just have one room, but some do have two. So you would set out the two rooms, make sure that the doors match up like this, and then your hero would move into one room. Then he rolls an explore dice, which is this orange one, and he sees what he gets. So in that case, he would get a discover. He'd get to draw a discover tile, and that one, I cannot see what it is. Hold on. Well, it's actually, you can't see it, but it's actually, there you can. It's actually a zombie figure. So you'd have to take a zombie from the supply and put it in there. And then for another action, he could move to this other space and roll the explore die again. And if he's back in this space, of course, he can always move out, and that just puts him back, and he can put himself back on any edge of the tile that he wants. So that's it pretty much. So it actually doesn't sound too bad. The Duke and the Princess can come into play with certain quest cards. So anyway, like I said, it actually doesn't sound too bad, but in practice it definitely needed some play testing and some rules alterations. For instance, here for the warrior, it says he carrieth a shield and gets one defense roll. Well, in reading my rules, I can't even find how you make a defense roll. So what I'm going to do for this game is just say you roll this d6, and if you get a 4, 5, or 6, then you have a successful defense roll. What I originally intended 8 years ago when I designed this game, I can't even remember. And the warrior, he has a little bonus. His starting weapon is a sword, so he can only attack somebody in the same space as him, but he can move twice and still make an attack, whereas everyone else just has 2 actions, so if they move twice, then they can't make an attack, but the adventurer could move twice and still make an attack. So let's just go through a few example turns and see how it works. So again, the archer always starts out first. He's here. So we'll say he is going to make an attack against this zombie. So he'll roll the attack dice. And it looks like I got a leg. He still has one more action. He's going to attack him again. And it looks like I got an arm. So 2 misses. So now we go to the warrior. He's got a spear. He has a range of 0 to 1, so he could attack either one of these zombies. So we'll say he's going to attack this zombie. So he'll roll the attack dice. Torso, that's not a hit. And leg, that's not a hit. So his turn is over. Alright, the warrior, or the adventurer, has to be in the same space. He's got a sword, range of 0, so he's going to spend one of his actions. He's going to move in here with this zombie, and then he'll spend another action to make an attack. And he got a leg. So that's both his actions, so the hero's turns are over. Alright, so the witch can either move and or attack with zombies, or cast magic or summon zombies. Well, she's not going to be in range to cast any of her magic attacks, because this one only attacks 0 to 1 spaces, this is 1 to 2 spaces, and this one is 0 to 2 spaces. So she's going to move and attack. Her first thing is going to be an attack with a zombie. She's going to attack the adventurer, so she's going to roll the attack dice, and she gets a bite. Oh, the adventurer is in trouble right off the bat. So he's bitten. Alright, for her next action, she's going to move this zombie in here. Now remember, he can move but not move and attack. So for next action, she's going to move herself one space here. And that moves the thing to here. So now the witch is out of actions. And back to the hero players, again starting with the archer. So the archer doesn't want to get attacked by this zombie, so he's going to move in here for one action, and then we'll just to show how it works, he's going to pick up one of these discover actions. For a second action, he got a token with an icon of a quest card, so he gets to draw a quest card and see what it says. So we got Divine Intervention. If the Priest Cottage, which looks like this, is not already on the map, placeth it adjacent to the outer edge nearest thy figure. Well, it is already on the map, so we don't have to get it out. If it wasn't on the map, we would draw the tile out and place it here next to his figure. But it's already on the map, so we don't do that. If thou travels to and entereth this cottage and prays to thy Lord, he shall give thee a great test. He shall sendeth you a weapon. Draweth one random weapon from the weapon deck, then placeth 4 zombies in the cottage. If thou shouldst defeat these zombies, thou shalt receive 5,000 treasure. Also, remove all zombie figures currently on the map. That's if you defeat those 4 zombies that are in the cottage. So, anyway, the archer player will keep that with him. So if he comes over here and enters this cottage, you put 4 zombies in there. He gets to draw a random weapon from the deck. And if somehow he manages to kill all 4 of those zombies without getting himself killed, then he gets 5,000 treasure, and all the zombies on the map will be wiped out. Anyway, that's both his actions. He moved and drew a discover token. So now we come to the warrior. He's going to attack this zombie that's in his space. So he gets the zombie attack die, roll. Well, let's see, that was a leg. Alright, and he's going to attack again. As you can see, with only a 1 in 6 chance, not very good. Alright, now we come to the adventurer, and remember he got bitten, so he's got to move this marker here. And remember, when it gets to his 3rd turn, he's going to become a zombie. Now the other player, because he's going to become a zombie and the other players know that, they can attack him before he becomes a zombie, just like they would attack the witch. And their attack dice, if they got a head or a torso hit, then he would put a damage marker on his picture. If he got a second hit, he would be killed. So the other adventurers, knowing he's going to become a zombie, could try to kill him, but they may want him to do his best before then anyway. So anyway, it's his turn. He moves the marker there. He's going to attack the zombie in his space, so he's going to roll. He gets a torso. He's going to roll again, and he gets a leg, and so no zombie is killed. So no good. All right, the witch's turn again. She's going to move and attack with zombies again. She knows there's really no point to attack this guy again because he's going to become a zombie. So she's going to move this zombie here for one of her actions. She's going to move this zombie here for one of her actions. And she's going to move herself for one of her actions. Alright, back to the archer. He's going to move twice. Let's say he's going to move 1 and 2. So he's out of actions. The warrior, he's going to attack this zombie in his space twice. Hopefully we get a head this time. Oh, we do. So, alright, so this zombie is killed, and he gets to move his weapon proficiency marker up 1 for 1 kill. He still has one other action. He can attack this zombie that's only 1 space away. His spear is a 0 to 1. So he's going to roll again, and unfortunately he missed. Alright, it's the adventurer's turn again. He's got to move this marker here, but he can still attack. He's going to go out swinging. So he's going to try to attack this zombie in his space. And he unfortunately misses. And unfortunately misses. So you can see one problem of this game is it's too hard to kill the zombies. Now, I think what I should have done instead of each time you kill a zombie, because the purpose of this being harder at first is they don't know that they have to destroy the brain to kill the zombies. So at first, they're just swinging wildly and wondering why the zombies aren't dying. So maybe instead of each kill, it moves up the weapon proficiency. I should have made it each time they attack, it moves it up. So the first few times they attack, they have less chance of hitting, but then after they've attacked several times, they know they have to go through the head. So they roll more dice. That's probably what I should have done, or something like that. But anyway, we'll do the witch again. Alright, the witch is here, which is really here, so she's kind of only one space away from this guy. So we'll say she's going to attack with the fireball. So she's going to do magic. So she can attack from 1 to 2 spaces. So she's going to make a magic attack. She's going to roll her dice. And she did get a fireball. So the archer gets hit. If he gets hit again with a magic attack, he's dead. She actually has another action. So she's going to attack with the fireball again. And that's a miss. So she has one more action. She can't attack with the fireball again. You can only attack twice with the same butt. She does have another, so she could attack with the energy ball. So she's going to do that. And no, that's magic projectile. So she misses. And she's out of actions. So let's just show an example of moving into a building. Well, I already showed an example of moving into a building. So anyway, I think you can see how the game plays. Like if you move into this tower, it's actually got 3 levels of building, and you can move up a level for one move. Anyway, you can see how it plays, but it's got we didn't discover all the issues, but there's a lot of issues. Like I drew a token out of here yesterday when I was playing it to remind myself of the rules, and it looked like a bear trap or something, and there's like nothing in the rules. I was like, well, what am I even supposed to, does this mean I take a damage? I had no idea. So kind of strange, but you can pick up a shield. Now, like the warrior had a shield. I don't even remember. Well, he didn't get hit, so we didn't have to do a defense roll. But like I said, I had to. There's crossbow, sword of piercing, sword of kings, executioner's axe. Anyway, there's just weapons. And then various quest cards. I'm trying to find the one about the Duke. Well, actually, while I was looking through these quest cards, that one I said I drew yesterday was a bear trap. It was actually the summoning circle. So if I had had this quest and I found that, then I could take it to the top of the tower, which, again, because all this artwork is darkened, but that's the top level of the tower tiles. And then if the tower is not already on the board, place it when you arrive at the top of the tower at the summoning circle. The witch will be transported to the tower, but beware she is powerful. If you killeth the witch, thou winneth the game. Anyway, there's a bunch of different quests. Some of them bring the Duke and the Princess in. But I think there's possibilities here. Just needed some good play testing, but the way it is right now, it's pretty bad. And like I said, this came out. I don't think there were any other zombies in the Middle Ages, Dark Ages type games before I designed this, so I think I was probably the first one to come up with that, but the much better Zombicide Black Plague came out a couple of years later. But anyway, I just thought it'd be fun to show this at Halloween, and for me to dig it out and play it again after 8 years and just see what it was like. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.